Toastmaster Divya, she is currently in the path of presentation mastery and she will be presenting her L2P3, which is level 2, project 3. The purpose of this speech, the purpose of this project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. Divya Dsouza, guided by grace, Divya Dsouza.
Do you all remember your first day at Toastmasters? I definitely remember mine. And that was a day that I walked into the Toastmasters meeting and I thoroughly enjoyed myself with the structure of the meeting. And I was getting around to figuring out what a timer is, what an hour counter is. And then there was someone who said, Divya, you should participate for the table topics contest. And that someone was, guess who? My very first mentor in the Toastmasters journey, our beloved, distinguished Toastmaster, Phyllis Maria de Costa. And when she said, Divya, you should try for the area level contest, I was barely 3 weeks in Toastmasters. And I was not even sure what an R counter is. And now this lady is telling me you should go for the table topic contest. So I told myself, yes, ma'am, definitely. It's okay. I'll think about it. No, Divya, you should and you must. I'm sure all of you recognize that nurturing spirit of Maria ma'am. She never takes no for an answer, does she? And she said, no chance. You are entering that contest. You must do that for Coastal Divas. And so, because of her confidence, I said yes. But in my heart and every cell in my body was screaming no. What if I forget? What if I make a fool of myself? What if I'm standing there and just looking at everybody? And then I said, okay, why not? She believes in me, so I think I should also. And that is where my journey as learning from a mentor at Toastmasters began. And Maria Mann truly was my guiding light. She not only corrected who I was or what I was and what I wanted to say, she nurtured my courage. She helped me understand that mentoring was not about teaching, it was about finding yourself. And when I started going to her house for rehearsals, I was absolutely ready to just be a clay in her hands and to learn because I did want to ace the test. When I reached her home that day and she told me, come on, Divya, just believe in yourself. Just think on your feet. It's very simple. You're a great speaker. All you need to do is speak from your heart. And she took her little book there and she had already a plethora of topics. And one after the other, she would give one topic to the other. There I was. In some of the topics, I would be tongue tied. At others, I would stammer. Some I would totally forget what I was really talking about. But at every point, all she did was just relax, take a pause, breathe, and just connect with the audience and speak from your heart. And that was exactly what reassured me. There were times that I raced through my speech and she would say, Divya, pause. Just sometimes you need to have your silence speak for you. And that's when I really learned so many things that even though I considered myself as a good speaker, I learned much more because that's exactly why I joined Toastmasters to learn about the structure of speech. And then came the day, the area level table topics contest. I arrived there totally hands sweaty, tongue tied, smiling outside. Everybody was watching me. This was, in fact, the same top that I wore also that day because red is my favorite color and it's lucky sometimes. And then when I saw the stage, it looked like a forest of animals and each person going on there ready to be eaten by the crowd. But I looked at Maria ma'am, and there she was looking at me, giving her that reassuring look. And then I said, Divya, just go there on that stage and just be yourself. And that's what I did. So I went on the stage, and as I walked in, I had to wear that contraption of a mic with a belt and all of that. And I was wondering, first question that I had is, these things are not made for people as big as me. And I had to somehow manage to put that on, but that I did. And I got onto the stage. I don't even remember what that topic was. But then I remember finishing the topic. I remember feeling free finally of all of my nerves. I felt confident and I felt happy. And I didn't just walk away with the award, I also walked away with a lesson for life. And that really gave me an idea of exactly what mentoring at Toastmasters is. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters journey is really a beautiful one and one that I have learned and relishing every single moment of it. But the mentoring part is something that I understood very differently because I have had my experience with different kinds of mentors. But mentoring at Toastmasters is a slightly different. When you are a mentor here and when you are mentored, they don't just give you a script, they hand you a mirror to look at yourself and evaluate where you are. They don't walk for you, they walk with you. And every step of the way, guiding you with trust, with encouragement, and shared growth. So, as I look back at that day where I took that first step in my Toastmasters journey, happily, of course, with an award, but I learned what is the true value of mentoring because mentoring isn't about teaching, it is about guiding. It's about not just creating another version of yourself, but helping that person find themselves, find their true voice. So, for all the Marias all out there, thank you for reminding me that growth isn't about just another journey. And to all the mentees, do not hesitate when someone comes forward to mentor you, because that's just the opportunity to take you to the next level. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.